Hello, and welcome to a new playthrough of Starsector. We are playing on version 0.95a RC15, and we have the Nexerelin mod installed, allowing us to play as the pirates from the start. This is going to be a salvage only run, and I'll explain what that means in a little bit, but the first thing we're going to do is pick helmsmanship as our starting skill, and then wait for the Persian sector to load in. The first thing we're going to do is check for any officers to recruit or missions at the bar. Seeing none, we are going to pick up some extra crew and drop some supplies that we're probably not going to need for the moment. And then we're going to make some modifications to our starting ship, the Cerberus. We're going to add safety overrides and unstable injector. Basically, we want to be as fast as possible while still being able to shoot all the time. And that's because most of our initial battles are going to be against the Ludic path, and their ships are really fast and really aggressive. And being just one ship ourselves, we're going to need to be able to outmaneuver them so we can pick them off one by one instead of getting surrounded. In vanilla, or as any other faction in Nex, I would normally begin by heading to Corvus, because there's almost always going to be an open bounty on pirates there at the start of the game, and the fleets that you find are usually just going to be a couple of very poorly maintained frigates, so it's an easy way to start building up an initial fleet and make a little bit of money on the side. But since we're playing as pirates, that's not an option, so we're going to go for the next best thing, which is hunting for Ludic Path in Kumari Kingdom. Now you may be asking yourself why we didn't use our starting money to buy a couple of extra ships to bolster our initial force, and that's because this is going to be a salvage only playthrough. What that means is we are only going to be using ships, weapons, and blueprints that we pick up as salvage. So the only things we'll be buying on the market are commodities like supplies and fuel, and trade items like transplutonic ore or domestic goods. And we're even going to go one step further and say that the only ships we are going to salvage are from battles that we have won. So essentially, when it comes to ships, we keep only what we kill. And that is why we are here at Kumari Kingdom. We are looking for a small Ludic Path fleet, preferably one we can actually win against, so that we can disable some of their ships and hopefully add to our fleet. While I'm flying around here looking for a good target, I should note that I do have a couple of other mods installed. First is Starship Legends. Basically what this mod does is that it allows each of your ships to gain traits based on performance in combat. That means that good performance will cause your ships to gain good traits, while poor performance will cause them to gain negative traits. And these traits are just modifiers to your ship's base stats, so things like armor, speed, or rate of fire. And then enemies can have these traits as well, so any fleets that we encounter are going to have their own unique quirks to them that can significantly affect the ability of their ships to perform in combat, on top of whatever the officers are already doing. I really like this mod because it allows each of the ships in our fleet to gain its own unique characteristics, and just adds that little bit of extra flavor on top of what the base game already offers. And it looks like we found something here, a Hound and a Cerberus. Let's see if we can take this fight. Since we're all by ourselves here, we're really going to need to isolate and eliminate as much as possible. Let's see how this goes. Alright, looks like the Hound is coming to us. Let's see if we can get between them and create some distance. Alright, that's one down. And immediately overloaded by the other Cerberus. And he's going to try and chase us down. Alright, good, we were able to get some distance. And it looks like if we can just keep our shield up, we should be okay. There we go. Well, no ships to salvage, but we should pick up a couple of story points, and we're immediately going to spend those on improving our Cerberus. Hopefully that will give us a bit of an edge in the next fight. build in that makeshift shield generator. That'll give us a couple more points to put in capacitors. Hopefully let our shields last a little bit longer in the next engagement. Quick check for officers and missions. Nothing here. So we're going to head back out and see if we can find another fleet to take on. So the other mod that I have installed is Combat Results. This mod gives a breakdown of the damage dealt and the damage received by each of your ships in combat. It's mostly for my own benefit to do a little bit of analysis of what's working and what's not in terms of ship builds. And it looks like we might have a target here. What is this? 1 Shepherd and 2 Kites? They're not individually that strong. Again, if we can separate them, that'll make our work a lot easier. Let's try to take the one on the left first. We're just going to eat these salvos so we don't get overloaded. Good news is this kite is separated pretty far from the rest of its group. So if we can take him out now, we should be okay. There we go. More salvos to the face. We just want to make sure that we keep our shields up when he fires those rockets, because those will hurt. Alright, he really doesn't want to separate from the Shepherd, so we're just going to have to take him as he is. Just the Shepherd. This shouldn't give us too much trouble. Not bad, guys, not bad. And we got both kites. I will happily spend 2 story points to add those. Thank you very much. So we have somehow dug ourselves out of the dirt. I guess now we're going to head back to the local pirate base, put some gear on these kites, and hopefully get back out there and get some more ships. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully next episode we can do some more fighting, pick up some more ships, and actually start doing some looting, like proper pirates. So until next time, I'll see you out there in the sector.